Hey, I'm Mario, and welcome to this week's Pause Devotional. The gracious hand of God was on me. What a powerful statement. This week we're in the book of Nehemiah. Jerusalem had been invaded and destroyed, and the people of God had been taken captive. Nehemiah was born during the Babylonian exile, and although he grew up a foreigner, God prospered him. He rose through the ranks and eventually held the prestigious and highly trusted position of King Artaxerxes' cupbearer. What an opportunity for Nehemiah it was to be close to the king. I'm sure that in God's divine plan, holding such a position shaped things in him that would later come in handy. Nehemiah's life inspires me. And even more inspiring is his response to the news. He hears about the state of the land of his ancestors and how things are not going well for those who returned to the province of Judah, says chapter 1, verse 3. See, his people were suffering. The wall of Jerusalem had been torn down and the gates destroyed by fire. How did he respond? In Nehemiah 1:4, it says, "When I heard this, I sat down and wept. In fact, for days I mourned, fasted, and prayed to the God of heaven." Nehemiah goes into a time of weeping and mourning. However, he didn't just weep or mourn. He got over the mourning and weeping and fixed his eyes on God. Nehemiah fasted and prayed fervently. He goes into the kind of prayer we should learn to pray. He confesses his sins, the sins of his family, the sins of his people, and after that, he does something extraordinary. He goes and reminds God of his promises. As if God had forgotten, he humbly but boldly reminds God of what he would do if the people honored him. I love how Nehemiah was moved with compassion for his homeland and his people. He cared so much about their well-being, he was willing to risk it all. Nehemiah decided he would ask the king to give him permission to go and help his people, to serve his people. When we read or hear this, it seems as if it's a simple ask. However, such an ask could have cost him his life. Please go and read the whole story when you have some time. Nehemiah asks the Lord, "Lord, put it into his heart to be kind to me." And the king was. The king wasn't only kind to him, he was merciful, and everything Nehemiah asked for, he got. Chapter 2, verse 8 says, "And the king granted these requests because the gracious hand of God was on me." See, I believe Nehemiah was granted all his requests and rebuilt the wall in record time because he cared and had compassion for others. In chapter 1, we read that he wept, mourned, fasted, and prayed for others. Nehemiah wasn't in love with his position, title, or the commodity of living in the palace. No. Instead, he cared about his neighbor. He cared about serving people, and God answered his prayers. I want to encourage us today to look past our immediate needs. Look past our wants or our desires. Look past our egocentric prayers, and let's look at the needs of our neighbors. Better yet, let's be the answer to the prayers of our neighbors. And when we do that, when we care for others like Jesus cares for us, then the good and gracious hand of God will be upon us. And our request, our prayers will be answered. Hey, thanks so much for watching this Pause Devotional. You can find this one and many others on our website. And remember to subscribe to our social media platforms. Take care.